Hi there, I'm Luma and welcome to my channel. Well, if you are a subscriber or a regular watcher here on my YouTube channel, you will have noticed I have not posted any videos since the end of July. You may have been wondering what's been going on. I'll share a few little tidbits of what I've been experiencing personally in the past month. And if you're a new watcher here, welcome. I am an energy intuitive. I make these videos to help you understand the energetic movements that we are currently experiencing. They are magnificent and epic and massive. And so for you folks who feel energy and you just feel so much and you don't know what the heck is going on, I make these videos to put some words so you can hopefully validate and value your experience that you are having right now. So this video is all about the reality of transfiguration and physical ascension. Yep. The reality of transfiguration and physical ascension. So I've had my own personal deep dive into this month of August. It started on August the 1st, where I accidentally slipped in a grocery store like a cartoon character on a banana peel and fell backwards and whacked my head, right? So slight concussion and a major shift and kind of breaking open and breaking some seals on consciousness, awareness, and knowledge that I'm supposed to share. So this video is a little bit different than my usual ones. Usually I just speak in the moment. This one I actually made notes, and I'm going to be reading some of these notes. So it's kind of like a news brief and recap of what happened, which is magnificent in the month of August 2025. Okay, so I'm recording this here for you today on August 30th, 2025. So first point, the physical body is energy. Yeah. However, what we have experienced the physical body as is as it's really dense, heavy. We experience a slowed down rate of change and manifestation through time and space, linear time. We experience a lot of pain, exhaustion, fatigue, aging, deterioration, etc. Okay? These are all symptoms of resistance to pure source energy, resistance to pure source power, resistance to pure source intelligence. While we may travel in consciousness, the body experience has been, past tense, has been limited to one-dimensional existence as an object separated from other objects. Okay? So just to recap, just let this one drop in. The physical body is energy. It's made from and runs on pure source energy. That is the way we are as humans, divinely designed. However, the physical body has been locked inside a frequency interference net of miasmic anti-source force resistance. Okay, so here's this amazing, I don't even have word, just source power, source intelligence, source energy. So to have an experience that is opposite to that, there had to be a very strong resistance field or anti-source force field to have this experience here of separation, yeah, of disconnection from pure source power. We can never actually be totally disconnected, but there can be a lot of interference in the way. And that is what we are emerging out of. Freaking excellent, amazing news. All right, so next point here, point number 2. The physical body is one layer within a multi-dimensional time-space travel vehicle. Yahoo! Haha, right? This physical body is a layer, it's one body embedded within many bodies, which is an interdimensional travel vehicle. How fun is that? Let the fun begin, I say. All right. However, the experience of the physical has been that it's locked in one dimension and therefore separate and isolated from the other layers of this magnificent, divinely designed, multi-dimensional body structure. We are made of pure light, dazzling light, powerful source intelligence. That's what we're made out of. That's what we run on naturally. And that's what we create with and make with here in these worlds of form. Yeah. So just pausing here for a moment to reconceptualize how you view this body. I mean, so many of us sensitive folks has felt like we're locked in jail, in prison here, and we're looking for a way to get out of the body because it's felt so uncomfortable, so painful. We've experienced and been witness to so much suffering. We want to get the hell out, right? Transfiguration, physical ascension, means source power is flooding through us right now. The floodgates are wide open. Source power, intelligence, energy, flooding us, right? Those of us that are been waiting at the front lines for the floodgates to open, we're feeling it, yeah? And it's coming in waves. If it just hit us full force, I don't know, we'd probably just get completely wiped out like in a tsunami, okay? But it's coming in waves. It's very compassionate. We called for this. This is the response to our call. We're done. We're kind of getting stuck in here. We need some backup support. Please send it. It has arrived, okay? And we've been feeling this for a long time in the other layers and dimensions of our being, through our meditations, dreams, altered states of consciousness. Sometimes it will pop through, but then it seems to be gone, right? So that we're getting this steady infusion of source energy all the way down into this density. So I'll speak maybe in some other videos and more details on some of this information, but let's get back to the news brief for today. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about these. The next point is what is this miasmic network of anti-source force resistance field? What is this? So there were interdimensional locks, seals, implants, frequency devices, interference, barriers, inhibitors, and a resistance field. That's all created this resistance field. This miasmic mess is currently being dismantled. It's been gradually, little bits of it in your own personal experience. You encounter resistance, you encounter these old structures and beliefs and patterns and programs and addictions, and you can change them a little bit, but sometimes you backslide, sometimes they clear. You've been noticing this year how things are clearing and they stay clear. They don't come back again. Yep. And then a deeper layer will come up. We're getting to the deep layers. Okay. So it's currently being dismantled. Nothing can stop this. This is the movement that is happening. Okay. Resistance popping up like crazy and like mad in desperate attempts to hang on, but it is being systematically dismantled. Yep, these forces, anti-source forces of resistance, this oppositional force that interferes with us experiencing direct source power. Okay, so you may not have been aware of the complexity and enormity of the structures of resistance to pure source energy. However, you have keenly intimately and excruciatingly felt and experienced the impact of those energetic structures. Okay. So in my years of study of spiritual practices and metaphysics, I've looked in great detail from some teachings into examining what these structures of resistance were, how they were put together, how do we dismantle them. There's a lot of technical detail, which I could share. However, you're not missing out on any of this. Just remember, we're part of a big, big, big team, big coordinated effort. And whatever it is that we've been drawn to focus on is our part of the bigger operation that's unfolding right now. Okay. So it's important. And I make these videos for the majority of you who are incredible and deep sensors and feelers. You have a heart of goodness that is so profound and so powerful. And I see this every day, in my work and just walking around in the world, the power of the human heart and human goodness. Okay, don't ever doubt that power. It's just profound. Alrighty. Okay. Just amplifying the feeling field here. Tears of release, tears of joy, tears of recognition. And part of my auric field is that I amplify emotional energy in others. So I'm amplifying the whole field of all the thousands of folks here listening in. So have a good feel and a good cry and a sigh of relief as we go through here. Okay. Alrighty. Next point on the news brief here. Okay. What has been initiated this month of August 2025 is the beginning of a total and complete removal of these opposition to source energy structures and a liberation of the divine potential of the angelic human. How this proceeds depends upon the choices and engagement of humans, aka free will choice. We are still within the auspices of free will choice, choosing how we will or will not engage with this process that's unfolding. And again, there's this momentum moving, okay? Let me put it this way. Let's say previously in the past, I'll call it the dark matrix, clearly had the upper hand. These anti-source forces of resistance definitely had the upper hand and were basically running, let's say, about 90% or more-ish of life on Earth. Yeah. The tables have completely flipped. Yeah. Source energy, source power, source intelligence is running at about 80% on the planet right now. That means there's only 20% of this anti-source force resistance that's still affecting us, okay? Tables have completely reversed, right? We still have habits. We still have memory echoes of, this resistance field has the upper hand, and we can make small changes, but not big changes. A lot of feelings of despair, hopelessness, powerlessness, not wanting to touch power because power means going against source, right? And we couldn't access the source power through our physical forms and through these density fields that we inhabit here. Okay, so, a lot of people talked about the Lionsgate activations happening from August 8th to 12th. And this was the next level initiation of, again, the removals of these locks and seals and inhibitors, okay? It can be quite dramatic, the experience of these, which I experienced myself, falling and hitting my head. Right, okay. Next point here. Let's move on. Staying on point on the news brief here today. You have source power working directly with you every moment, every step, every breath. You have source power working directly with you. Why? Because you are source power. You are made from source power. Your body, your multi-dimensional time-space travel vehicle in form, is designed and runs on pure source power, pure source intelligence. Remember that. There is no bigger power, right? As you encounter resistance, the anti-source forces, still operating. We still have a big, strong memory imprints and of those traumas. Yep, pretty big. So as you encounter resistance, remember the power that created you and recreate yourself according to your original divine blueprint. Your original divine blueprint. Let's take a moment here, right? So I use the word angelic human. That is pointing to our divine origins and all of the beautiful levels of creation that design this incredible vehicle. It's magnificent, it's beautiful, it's worth protecting and allowing these vehicles to continue on a growth of evolution and wow, wonderment. Okay, so your original divine blueprint. So we have this old structure of this old miasmic anti-source force field, yeah, kind of like a suit of nets. They're kind of metallic, and they run reverse frequency. Source frequency comes in, it can't be stopped, but it can be flipped and reversed, right? Turned backwards, right? To cause an opposite effect or an oppositional force field, okay? So the original divine blueprint, is accessible to us. This is expediting our own self-healing. It's expediting the changes here. It's like, remembering our original blueprint, our original instructions. Many spiritual teachings around the planet refer to these original instructions, of how to live well and in harmony and in balance with natural law, universal love, eternal life systems. Okay? So all those instructions and information is in your original divine blueprint. We all have one. And I'm just moving my hand in here, so it's like it's close into us, so we can start to do our deconditioning, reconditioning. Yeah, okay. So all you need to do is accept the assistance, support, and bridging frequencies that are here to help you remove the old structures, to rehabilitate, to restore, repair, upgrade, and transplant new energetic structures. Some of these old structures are just so deteriorated and degraded. We just got to take them out, right? And it's kind of like our blueprint is like has these new structures, and they just move in, right? Fully formed, and then we start to live and engage in new ways. It's magnificent, magnificent. Okay. So the experience of this process is like living in a house that is undergoing a major renovation on every level. The electricals, the plumbing, the walls, the roof, the foundation, the basement, the attic, the everything, right? The light, everything, right? All happening, all getting renovated, all at the same time, every single level. So we're talking about, your physical body is finally experiencing this renovation that's happening on the other dimensions as well. So, The maps I use, again, I'll explain some of these in future videos and on other platforms. I work with a 5-density, 15-dimensional universal structure that I learned in metaphysics. It's a useful map tool to refer to. Okay, so just think you've got 15 bodies existing in 5 densities. Okay, and they're all getting worked on all the time. This is your multi-dimensional, interdimensional travel vehicle here, right? So you can experience many different dimensions of life. How wonderful. All right. So a few more points here. Let's keep going. It's going to be a bit of a longer video than usual. How will different groups of humans experience this transfiguration and physical ascension? Okay. So some people will experience transfiguration with eyes and hearts wide open. This is a shocking and intense experiential path. Believe me, I've been on this one for years. Shocking and intense, okay? Some of us are wired for extreme levels of shock, and we just get back up and keep on going, Look, groups of us have been nicknamed the crash test dummies. Yep, the crash test dummies, taking these vehicles for a ride, locating precisely where the resistance is, how it's operating in our system, and how to safely dismantle it. Kind of feel like bio-spiritual technicians. It's a pretty weird job. Anyhow, you may be one of the people in that group, everyone's participating at all these levels, just a reminder, with various levels of awareness and consciousness, okay? So just remember, all of you here listening into videos and information like this, that you are masters of ascension of the highest level. You're a special task force working on this project at this time. Okay? Each in your own unique way. We all have a different piece to play here. Yeah? We all have different areas of specialty that we may be aware of, and most of it we're not aware of. It is just happening. Okay? So let me say it this way. Actually, I'll say it this way. So that's kind of group number 1. But again, we have all of these groups in us and all happening simultaneously. So I'll say group number 2. Some groups of people will experience transfiguration on the purely felt sensory level. Okay, so these experiences can be of release, lightness, expansiveness, sudden elation and increased energy, followed by extreme tiredness and a need to rest. Okay? Sometimes that might be circumstances may happen in your life that, you might get injured and you have to take a break, or you take a stress leave, or you have to, stop for various reasons, slow down, okay? Another experience of these, deep felt sense feeler folk, that's all of us here, is a sense of floating, loss, lethargy, and apathy while the renovations are happening, right? It's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I just feel like I don't know what to do with myself. All of my usual go-to feel good or uplifting things are kind of blah. Don't really know what's next, not feeling inspired, kind of going through the motions, kind of sense of ennui, boredom, waiting, right? Okay, so renovations are happening and we're just not aware that they're happening. And this kind of lethargic, apathetic, floaty state is the level of the mind that we've been really hyper focused through. Is this losing interest kind of in living life that way? Okay, all right. Another experience in this group here of feelers is sudden impacts to the physical. Yep, accidents, injuries, illnesses, diseases, sudden acute pain or conditions manifesting. Okay, so I've heard from so many people, myself in this group, family members as well, like sudden injuries, sudden kind of shocking imbalances, diseases, illnesses manifesting out through the body. Okay, so think of it this way, right? We're being flooded with pure source energy, pure source power. It's massive and we're not used to it, right? So it's coming in and it comes in waves, right? Certain bandwidths of frequency, and it's going to hit those resistances that have been embedded in our fabric of our being. You kind of think of it like a finely woven mesh, okay, that's been woven in to the fabric of our being, kind of hits that, and then, you know, we get these shock waves, something pops out of the body, you know, and then gradually this that meshy, metallic-y net will start to lose its electrical magnetic charge, like it gets unplugged, right? And then it can, you know, the source energy is coming in, softening, dissolving, so that these can, you know, carefully and safely be guided out of our systems, and that allows, again, more of this pure source power, energy, and intelligence to flow more freely through our systems. How great is that? Alrighty. Okay. I want to mention a third group. You know, some people will rapidly drop their physical forms, you know, sudden death, aggressive conditions leading to a quick death. Okay. So again, source energy can hit this miasmic field, and it's like, it's so enmeshed and so embedded. And again, this is a choice. This is like, do not compare. There is not one group that is better or less than. We're all playing a significant and integral part in this big adventure here. All right. Okay. Everyone is doing their divine sacred duty here, whether they're conscious of it or not. Right. On some level, we are conscious and participating. Okay. So people who are dropping their bodies right now, they are taking out big chunks of this miasmic stuff, and they're dismantling it in the more subtle dimensions, right? Epic work that's being done by these folks, right? So just blessing everybody on their journey here, yeah? And when it's time for, you know, friends, family, loved ones to go, bless them on their way. May their transition be as easy as possible. That's what we always want, right? Yeah. So letting go there, okay? Blessing everyone on their journey here. Right. Okay. So another point here is new modalities, techniques, systems and programs, substances and technologies will rapidly be popping up to address what is happening to human form, consciousness, and energy from the perspective of transfiguration. Some of these will seem miraculous, and then they will become quite normal, gradually and quickly replacing all the old approaches and structures of health, healing, medicine, nutrition, wellness, etc. Okay, there's a whole new wave of approaches. If we look at transformation, transfiguration, the inherent potentiality of this form to adapt, to mutate, to transmute, to shapeshift, really, you know, what we think of as like special, high spiritual capacities, you know, these are innate, again, within our original divine design, the original instructions, the original blueprints. So those dormant capacities, you know, are switching back on. People are responding by creating amazing offerings, healing techniques, technologies, ways of understanding our physical form as energy, as pure energy, which it is, and approaching our physicality in that way. This is a profound shift in awareness and consciousness. So if you start relating to this physical body, not as a meat suit in a prison, but as this incredible fabric of light and sound frequencies. Yeah. Alrighty. So folks like yourself, tuning into information like this are at the forefront and the frontier, ahead of the curve of change and riding this transformational ascension wave, okay? Others will follow in divine right timing and divine right order. Simply go at your own pace, timing, and rhythm. Do not try to drag, force, or push others, especially loved ones, friends, and family. We've been very attached, very codependent. So don't try to drag, force, or push them, and don't let them try to drag, force, or push you either. Go your own way, right? Go your own way. Allow each respectfully to proceed at their own pace and levels of awareness and unique sets of codes, lineages, and configurations, choices, and free will. All right? So this is like, don't interfere with other people's paths. And if someone's interfering with yours, you got to end that interference. Speak up, make some changes. You got the power here. You got the power to make these changes now. You do. All right? So next point, let's look at this whole big, multi-dimensional, multi-universal, multi-cosmic operation as a huge fail-safe operation. That means that multitudes of pathways and levels of support are available to all life forms at every level, dimension, density, universal systems, and structures. Okay? So there's a pathway for all. Yeah. And it's going to be different. Yeah. Our makeup, our codes, our lineages, our choices, karmas, things that we've carried with us. It's all different. We all got a different package here that we're working with. Okay. So fail-safe means there's not one size that fits all. There is something that fits each individual uniquely. Okay. It's quite extraordinary, really. Yep. This is how source intelligence works. Now we're all super connected, interconnected. Each little facet has a special, unique purpose, yeah, and function. So remember that too. All right. Alrighty. So what can you do as an individual to participate in this process, which you already are participating, whether you're aware of it or not on some level or not, So I've written down 5 things that you could do, because guess what? We are action figures and we want a job, right? What can I do? How do I do this, right? What? It's like, well, number 1 is kind of just accept and be and go with the flow, right? However, we also have to engage in the process here too. So number 1, go at your own pace and cease comparing your progress to others. Just stop it already, right? Stop comparing yourself to others. This means facing and changing the frequencies of inadequacy, competition, jealousy, arrogance, and projection. That's like projection, counter projection, and shadow, right? Okay. So, wherever that's showing up in yourself, if you're feeling inadequate, comparing yourself to others, noticing others are arrogant, they think they got it all figured out and they're projecting their shadow onto you. All those crazy projection shadow freaking games. My God. Okay. Right. So just face it honestly in yourself. It's like a frequency that's running in our field, and it impairs and creates interference in our ability to connect directly to our own source intelligence, and therefore to work collaboratively with others. All right. So number 1, go at your own pace. Don't compare. Take care of any parts of these programs, beliefs, issues around inadequacy, competition, jealousy, and arrogance, projection and shadow projection, right? the blame, shame, game, and guilt stuff, right? Right? So just face it honestly, take care of it, and you got lots of help and support to get these things cleared out of your system, right? Okay, so number 2, encountering resistance. So avail yourselves of the many techniques, help, and support that are accessible to you in your own community, through your network of connections, things that your intuition guides you to, stuff you might find online. People are offering all kinds of amazing stuff, practices, techniques. Use your own inner guidance to find the ones that are correct for you. And if it's like your friend's all excited about something, like, oh my God, you got to try this, or go see this person, and you try it, it's like, I'm not really feeling anything. Don't compare. It's like, maybe that's just that one's not for me. It works for that person. This thing over here, this practice, this technique, this healer, practitioner, modality, this works for me, right? And it might be constantly changing, and you might, there's so many different approaches and to meet individuals' needs that are available right now, okay? And of course, we're always doing our own work on ourselves, right? Just breathing in that pure source frequency, meeting wherever you're experiencing that anti-source force resistance in yourself. Just be aware that that resistance is there, yeah? Just being aware that it's there, just feeling that it's there, that can be enough just to go, okay, yeah, that's there. I don't really know what it is, but I just feel heavy or icky, or, and just feel that that's there. Yeah. And that's a step in identifying it's there, and then we may address it. Okay. It's all happening. It's all happening. There's no rush. Don't force. Don't push. Just go your own pace. Alrighty? Okay. So number 3 in the things that you can do. Reframe and perceive everything that is happening in your life as benevolent. Yeah, all those teachings that, the universe provides, has our back, supports us. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Even, when you've been through your dark night of the soul and really hard experiences, it pushed you to grow, to change, to evolve, right? To identify and confront the resistance in your field, yeah, and break through it, yeah. So sometimes the way in which that happened can look like harm and attack, but if you see underneath and inside of it, the benevolent forces at work. I like to think of it like in fairy tales, where with the evil sorceress who puts a curse, and then the good fairy godmother can't completely undo the curse, but they can soften it and make it gentle so that, that person can make choices using their free will to find their way out of that miasmic mess. Okay? Right. So reframe and perceive everything as benevolent. Alrighty. Okay, number 4, things you could do. Release addictions to adrenalized fear, pain, and suffering. Yeah, we have built identities and are very attached to them, stories, beliefs around fear, pain, and suffering. Okay, we have whole personality structures built around these, whole survival techniques. We've arranged our energy for self-preservation under extreme duress and stress, yeah, for generations, okay? So just be aware, that's pretty heavy duty, okay? And also be aware, pure source energy, power, intelligence, original instructions streaming on through here to help you dismantle, break down, and dissolve adrenalized fear, right? To alleviate levels of pain and suffering, emotional pain, my God, right? Huge amounts of that we're not even aware of. Yeah, we're aware when we're in physical pain. Yep. Mental anguish, mental pain. Yeah. So a lot of these things can be cleared and addressed, again, at the frequency and energy level, and they can pass through us with greater and greater ease. Okay, alrighty. And number 5, Cultivate states of wonder, curiosity, and joyousness. Remember that of which you are made, and in turn, how you become maker. You are a divinely designed expression of great, loving inspiration. Remember this. Remember that which you are made of. Pure source energy, power, intelligence, and love. And in turn, remember how you become a maker and creator. Alrighty. Okay. That's the news brief I got for you here today. Managed to put that together after all the things I've been through personally this month. I will continue to be making videos here for you on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking and sharing and commenting. I'm also over on the Patreon platform. You can join for free, or a monthly membership helps to support my work here. Still up over on Telegram occasionally. And I know there's some new things percolating for the fall. Right now, I'm just taking a little vacation time to integrate these significant changes in my own life. I do still work one-on-one with folks as well. My information and details are below. And thank you so much for listening and for everything that you are doing and engaging with. And we've been through so much. And wow, that this month of August, I think it's, I don't even have words. Alrighty. I'm going to close here for today. Again, thank you so much, and I'll be back really soon.